All right. So we have educational DZ with an educational reaction vid. You feel me? Just cause I saw this video I recommended and it seemed interesting, and I want to see what the video was talking about. Now, this was a year ago, saying dream and break science. Now, me, I am an avid believer. I believe that dreaming is like us like peering into the worlds of like our alternate self and our being in like different universes. You feel me? Like when I say that, like I think dreaming is like us going into the body of like a universe where like you feel me. For stop signs, red means go and green means stop. You feel me? Like just like random universe of like everything is like not the same, but it is the same. You feel me? And sometimes that philosophy breaks when you have a random universe to when like you're like a hot dog and you're stuck in like a hot dog universe and you gotta jump out the hot dog bowl. Or sometimes when it's just like you're just a random ass blob of meat and shit. You know what I'm talking about. You know how dreams get random sometimes. But yeah. I just want to see how this vid is and see what we can talk about. Good discussions. You know what I mean? And yeah. Let's get active.
Doesn't really know why you dream. We humans know more about solar systems light years away than we do about our nightly hallucinogenic bedtime stories. Sure, we know that you mostly dream during rapid eye movement or REM sleep, and we know that REM.
Now, and another thing, bro, I feel like for dreams, like whenever you have like another human being in your dream or like another person, it's never like someone random. Every person in your dream is like someone you have either seen on like a television, on like a phone, or like you've seen in real life. Like a dream is never like a random ass person. It's always somebody that you've known, which is also crazy to me. You feel me?
Sleep has a lot to do with forming memories, but why dream in all of this? What is the connection between forming memories and hyper-realistic hallucinations of picnicking with Tom Hiddleston? There's not really any good answers. Science doesn't really know, but there are theories. And every theory usually falls under one of two umbrellas. One side claiming that dreams have a primary function, and the other side saying that dreams are an epiphenomenon. Or for those who only know regular person words, collateral damage of other primary
See, I'm glad he put that because I've never heard of epithelial collateral damage
functions. Meaning it's pretty much just an Easter egg.
Brain, pretty much just an Easter egg of the brain.
The primary function people look at it like this. See, we can observe by hooking people up with wires that during REM sleep, you are most often experiencing negative emotion, particularly anxiety. So these scientists reason that dreams are then to prepare us for threats, so we will be able to act in the midst of anxiety in the real world, claiming that dreams are an evolutionary trait, that early humans that dreamed anxieties were more prepared to face actual events because they have felt the anxieties under maybe different circumstances in their dreams. So the scarier dreams you had, the more prepared you were. The epiphenomenon people look at it from a different standpoint. They have the idea that during REM sleep, the unconscious part of our brain is sorting memories, throwing out the useless information and really dialing in what's important. The theory goes that the electrical impulses created whilst this is going on is detected by our conscious brain, and our cortex just kind of gets confused with all this noise and throws together a story to make sense of it, creating a dream. Also, because it's your cortex, it will usually incorporate things that you think about often, hence why sometimes you'll dream of being fed grapes by Tom Hiddleston. This category of thinking says that dreams don't serve any purpose, and instead they're just a random byproduct. The problem I have with that standpoint is that our bodies have seemingly gone great lengths to ensure we're able to dream.
Okay, so I'm like on like no part then, because like they were like not a part of anything that I was talking about, of being like multiverses in our different selves and putting ourselves in, like, feel me? But I thought it was gonna be that because he was talking about how like random person in random scenario feeding you grapes and stuff, you know. So I thought, know what I mean? Damn, that's tough.
For example, during REM sleep, your brain inhibits motor neurons in the spinal cord, essentially vegetabilizing you while you sleep so you don't act out your dreams. It's like your brain is going out of its way to dream. There are also cases where dreams themselves have seemingly helped people process information, going contrary to the idea that they are purposeless. For example, in 1845, an inventor named Elias Howe had been obsessing over an idea
Did
of
you just say that you turn into... Wait, hold on. Sorry, I
bodies
was not paying
have
attention.
seemingly gone great
Go back.
lengths to ensure we're able
I
to
swear he
dream.
said,
For
like,
example,
you
during
become-
REM sleep, your brain inhibits motor neurons in the spinal cord, essentially vegetabilizing you
Yeah,
while you
becoming
sleep
you
so you
a
don't
vegetable.
act out your dreams. It's like your brain is going out of its way to dream. There are also cases where dreams themselves have seemingly helped people process information, going contrary to the idea that they are purposeless. For example, in 1845, an inventor named Elias Howe had been obsessing over an idea of a machine with a needle that would go through the cloth for you. But he had no idea how it would work. One night, he had a strange dream where he was about to be cooked by cannibals.
Oh,
Unfortunately, they didn't have Tom Hiddleston back then. The cannibals were dancing around him with spears, about to throw him in a fire, but he noticed something strange about their spears. Each one had a small hole near the tip. When he woke up, he couldn't get the image of the strange spears up and down motion out of his mind. He then realized that was the key to making his machine work. Move the hole from the back of the needle, like how it's done by hand, to the point of the needle, like the spears. So it's thanks to a dream that he realized the technological possibility of this sewing machine. Carl Jung believed that dreams had a very significant meaning, and seems to have a middle ground of the two categories of
me hear
thinking.
the
He
middle ground.
stated that dreams are messages sent up from the unconscious. In his words, the dream is a spontaneous self-betrayal and symbolic form of the actual situation in the unconscious. The dream is specifically the utterance of the unconscious. And that's quite interesting to me. A little too many big words for my taste,
Yeah.
but interesting nonetheless. I think that way of thinking appeals to me because for most of my life, I've had lucid dreams. Allow me to give you an example of a lucid dream. One
Talk
night,
me.
I had a dream where I was locked sitting in my room, but my room was empty, no furniture. I saw a wind-up toy lizard that began winding itself. Once it was done winding, it moved like a real-life lizard. Immediately after that, I thought to myself, yeah, this is a dream. So I got up, decided my door wasn't locked anymore, went to my driveway where a full dining room set from IKEA was set up, sat
Bro,
down and began having
No,
a philosophical...
I feel cause like, bro, dead ass, bro. There be dreams that be seem so real, and it's just the most random shit, just like this. Like, I had one of these dreams before where it's just. Actually, no, I haven't had one recently. Like, I've been having like just, I guess, semi dreams to where like they're like, not to where like I feel like I'm the person in the dream. You know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to explain. I'm not explaining it well, but I've had like dreams to where like it's like third person. You know what I mean? Like I see the characters, I see everything going on, but I feel like I'm not actually in it. I'm just making up the storyline as I go. But I haven't had a dream to where it's like a first person dream to where I feel everything, you know what I mean? Like I could feel the lizard winding up like in his explanation. You know, I haven't had that type of dream yet in a minute. Yeah, go away, explain it, DC.
discussion with Mr. Beast. Now, according to the
What?
epiphenomenon people, sat down and began having a philosophical discussion with Mr. Beast. Now, according to the epiphenomenon people, your conscious formulates dreams while your subconscious is hard at work. To me, this dismantles the epiphenomenon way of thinking and affirms Jung's beliefs, because when I ask my dream people troubling questions, I always get answers from a seemingly new
Views on
perspective. I
YouTube.
don't actively or consciously formulate a response to that question, so by definition, isn't that subconscious? But maybe we're just thinking about this wrong. The epiphenomenon people classify the subconscious as basically anything that's not your cortex, like your hippocampus and amygdala. But neither the hippocampus or amygdala could formulate a thought, like what I experience in a lucid dream. In fact, only one part of your brain can, the left hemisphere, or the right hemisphere, if you're part of the outcast minority that is left-handers. Either way, your brain is split in half. If I were to ask you to solve 345 times 2 and explain your answer, that would almost entirely involve your left hemisphere. But if I were to ask you to
Okay.
imagine a sunset rowboat ride in the middle of the ocean, laying in the lap of Tom Hiddleston whilst watching the Minions movie, that's your right hemisphere. While we see activity in
Creativity
both
and
sides of the brain
imagination.
during
Okay.
REM sleep,
Okay,
there's one specific...
I never knew that. Okay, so left side of the brain is logic and reason, and right side of the brain is like creativity and imagination. I did not know that. Hold on. Education would be. This is great. This is great education. Okay. Dang, I did not know that. So, logic and reason and imagination and creativity is going to be flipped because my camera's flipped. So, but this is my left side. This is my left side. Even though it looks like my right. This is my left side. Trust me, my camera's flipped.
specific part that lights up, the right temporal lobe, or more inclusively for you left-hand weirdos, the non-dominant temporal lobe. This part of the cortex is involved in learning and remembering non-verbal information like visuospatial material, music, and the cinematography of that one Tom Hiddleston movie. Okay, so you are processing information during REM sleep then. that seems clear. But my observations during lucid dreaming seems to contradict the idea that dreams themselves are just collateral. Maybe it has something to do with the corpus callosum, which connects the two hemispheres, but then Mr. Beast wouldn't be able to articulate himself. As you can see, it gets messy. Science kind of breaks, nothing makes sense, so let's turn away from science to a philosophical way of thinking to give us the illusion of an answer. Maybe dreams point out a path unknown to the waking conscious, giving much needed heedings of what's to come. In the form of Tom Hiddleston.
I spent a stupid amount of time in Photoshop with Tom Hiddleston. Why this nigga... Bro, this is okay. Okay, nice. Okay, that was nice. That was wow. Wow, bro.
Science.
Wow. That was wow. What's crazy? Bro, he didn't talk about much of my theory of like dreams being like alternate versions of yourself. I don't know. I feel like that's still a strong theory that like you dreaming is just a different version of you in another multiverse living out some weird wacky thing. But obviously that doesn't go along the ideas of like you being in a weird dream or like you're like a hot dog rolling around in like you feel me? What's that one wiener movie? What's it called? Like Hot Dog World something? I forgot what it's called. But yeah. Vsauce made a video about this too. Wow. The weird part about dreams for me is how you can just sort of know some things. Like, it doesn't have to be related to anything in the real world. You could imagine that children were originally cast and turned into humans as they grow up, and your mind would just accept that as a fact. It really makes me wonder how many things we just make up and our mind just doesn't question them. Damn. What really fascinating me is how we sense time in a dream and often have those dreams that feel like hours or days have gone when in reality I just had a 15-minute nap. No, that's true. Bro, sometimes like when you dream, it seems like the dreams be lasting like I don't know. I never had a dream where like it was like days on end. I feel like that's definitely like one of them lucid dreams. Like at max, a lucid dream like in the dream world can last, I would say like 3 days, but in reality, you only took a 6-hour nap. Like you could make like a whole life in your dream world, but it only lasts like he said, a 15-minute nap or like a 6-hour sleeping. That's crazy, bro. Yeah, bro. The time concept in dreams are crazy. I've had a lucid dream on a couple occasions where I mentioned to people in the dream that they are in fact not real. They always got really angry with me, like it wasn't supposed to know it's a dream. I never had that happen. I never had that happen where like I was talking to someone in a dream and I would tell them like, yo, this is a dream, we're not real. I never had that type of dream. Like, I don't know, bro. It'd be crazy, like, in those lucid dreams, bro, I need to have a lucid dream, bro. How do I get my brain to have a lucid dream? Damn. Can I do that? I don't know. Cause bro, I've had dreams where like I'm aware it's a dream, but I've never been like, let me try to talk to someone and see if they realize it's a dream. Damn, bro, that's trippy. Bro, the brain is crazy, bro. The brain is so crazy. Oh my.